People in Texas were just testing what was in the new snow.
Bro, this is some out of a movie.
Chinese-made bone glue fixes fractures in just 3 minutes.
The answer was in front of us the whole time.
Hi. Here I am.
Turn this shit off. Turn it.
Hey, welcome back to another Bryce is Right. Hope y'all all had a great freaking weekend and hope y'all are staying warm, thawing out. Might be a little bit more, so brace yourself. But yeah, other than that, y'all know what it is. It's time to dive down deep into some of the creepiest and freakiest videos I could find in the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok. Nah, these aren't your ordinary videos. They're going to be blowing your mind, making your head spin, and having you question your reality. But of course, before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't seen or missed out on any future content. And please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive right in, y'all. Let's get it. I remember this happening last year. Did this happen again this year in 2026? Golly. Yeah, I think so, because last year it was like up to the top of the tires. Yeah. Golly. That's terrible. That's not funny.
I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes.
Brother,
So people in Texas were just testing what was in the new snow that was on the ground. Aluminum, barium, strontium, lead, mercury, sulfur compounds, nitrogens, and pH. But guys, it gets so much worse, because why? Apparently, this woman kept posting this on the Instagram, and it kept getting taken down. These aren't trace elements. These are toxic chemical compounds known to harm the brain, nervous system, and environment. You're not crazy for asking questions. You're crazy if you stay silent. So people are basically questioning if this was in the snow on purpose. A lot of people are saying there's a lot of pollutants in snow, probably from factories and just cars and a bunch of things like that. Some people are saying like this is done on purpose, which that's a whole different story. People are simply just saying about that snow getting millions of views. But guys, what do y'all think about this? I just think it's crazy that it's literally a exact list of the most toxic things like mercury, lead. So don't eat snow anymore.
Jesus! Have I sinned or am I going to heaven?
Chemicals, man. They'll f*** you up.
That's crazy. Oh, hell no. What is that? Looks like one of those cartoon diseases.
You're so stupid. The answer was in front of us the whole time. As we all know, the Seahawks are going to play the Patriots in this year's Super Bowl. But let's go back to September 4th for a second. Just 2 days before this season even kicked off. Because on that day, the NFL would post this graphic showing a player from each team staring at the Lombardi trophy in the distance. Seems pretty normal, right? And by the way, if you like elite sports content like this, make sure you're following. Now stay with me here because this could be a conspiracy even bigger than the logo theory. Because watch this. Now I'm gonna zoom in, and I want you to take a look at this graphic again, and look at which two players the NFL decided to put closest to that Lombardi trophy. You've gotta be kidding me. Is this really a coincidence, or did the NFL scriptwriters plan this the whole time? But guess what? I'm not done. Cause you know what makes this thing even more crazy? Take a look at the preseason Super Bowl odds for both the Seahawks and the Patriots. Both teams over-under was only 8.5 wins. Forget the Super Bowl. Neither team was even supposed to make the playoffs. And randomly, the NFL just put these two guys here. I'm not usually into conspiracies, but it sure seems like the NFL scriptwriters had this thing planned the whole time.
Coach, ain't that stuff illegal? What are they gonna do, put you in football jail? No, you know this don't look natural.
That's Jacoby.
Coincidence.
My uncle found this in his attic when he moved it years ago, and he kept it. What y'all think? This kind of creepy.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. The day he was born.
That's wild.
Where he from? They don't say where he from.
Maybe it's like a souvenir from Roswell. Let me know.
Okay, major breaking good news. For the first time ever, scientists have just achieved the complete eradication of one of the most common forms of pancreatic cancer in mice using a combination of 3 low toxicity drugs. And this is the man who led the Spanish research team to achieve this promising breakthrough, Dr. Mariano Barbacid. And the reason this is being treated as such a big deal is because pancreatic cancer is one of the most deadly kinds, with this specific variant having a 5-year survival rate of under 10%. But despite this, they achieved the full disappearance of these pancreatic tumors, not just shrinking. The tumors did not come back during the study window, which is often the case, and they achieved this through the combination of 3 low toxicity drugs, which are much less intensive than going through chemo. And the mice tolerated it well. Now keep in mind, this is still just on mice, and we don't know how well this will perform in actual human trials, but considering the year we're having already, we're taking the W.
Goodness gracious. It is a toupee. And he just took it up and threw it into the crowd.
Got that wig split.
Somebody showed me a basement that's scarier than mine.
The FBI is investigating a possible biological laboratory allegedly operating inside a home in Las Vegas. Multiple law enforcement agencies executed a search warrant on Saturday morning. Investigators say they discovered refrigerators with vials containing unknown liquids. Here's ABC's Melissa Dunn.
Tonight, the FBI and Las Vegas police investigating a possible biological lab found inside a Nevada home. Authorities executing a search warrant Saturday morning.
This is an isolated incident, and there is no threat to the public as we stand here today.
Authorities releasing this video showing officers in hazmat suits searching the property. They say finding vials containing unknown liquids.
Our teams went inside and found evidence of possible biological material.
Authorities calling it a complex investigation that could take days.
This has to be a slow and methodical process by design. We have to take these situations very seriously, and we take all necessary precautions to keep our personnel and community safe.
Law enforcement say they took a suspect into custody.
The crazy thing is now I can't unsee it. I don't know how I didn't see it before. I can't unsee it now.
I would say maybe lazy. I don't know about creepy.
And touch them together,
Maybe
something
you're busy.
really weird happens. The vanilla gets transferred onto the chocolate, and the chocolate gets transferred onto the vanilla in the exact same spot. This feels impossible. How do both of them transfer material in the same spot? This question has been getting tens of millions of views online, with people trying to explain it and still walking away confused. Now, at first glance, I just thought that the chocolate and vanilla were mixing at the surface. But the problem is that you can see that it's not like a chocolatey vanilla at the contact point. There's still a clear layer of chocolate and a clear layer of vanilla. No mixing that I could see. In this video, I'm going to show you what's really happening here. And along the way, we're going to uncover a surprisingly deep idea in physics. The difference between stirring and true mixing. This difference at first seems pedantic, but you'll see that it turns out to be a line between reversibility and irreversibility, between systems that remember their past and systems that forget it forever. And once you see it, it explains not just the ice cream, but everything from fluid flows to entropy itself.
What's up with that vanilla face?
That's, I could get lost in that one.
Scientists just said they found a giant 300-year-old sea monster off the coast of New Zealand. Yeah, and it's been hiding in the deep for centuries. Every day there's something new that's even crazier than the day before. Shabadoo Mooshkis, Shabadoo.
Shabadabadoo. Yeah, they disproved the Loch Ness Monster, but now they got that one.
It seems like they also eat humans that were just born. Alex Jones is owed an apology.
Why does this pigeon have a camera coming out of its back?
Man, just imagine you chilling, looking out the window, then this happens.
This is not
then the
normal.
bird do some crazy shit like this. You don't know what
Maybe
to do.
birds really are
Spam,
drones.
but it's trying to attack you, but on funnel grade. Shit is crazy, y'all. What?
Don't you think it's totally normal that World War II double-aging German V2 rocket scientist Werner von Braun, who was poached by the United States during Operation Paperclip to become one of the founding fathers of NASA in 1958, wrote a sci-fi novel in 1950 called Das Mars Project, or Project Mars, a story about a man who led the colonization of Mars? And according to the original text, the Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled Elon. The leader of Mars was given the title Elon. 1950, by the way, and probably written even before that, a novel that was initially rejected by publishers for being too technical and then later formally released in 2006. The same year, Elon Musk attempted to launch SpaceX's first Falcon 1 rocket to space, which failed, but making him pretty much the only man on Earth leading the charge to, well, occupy Mars. Like Elon. Of all names out there, Elon. How many Elons do you know? Seems like they might have leaked the script a little earlier than they wanted to with this one.
It's flooding at an astronomical rate.
I thought she had proof.
What happens when we die? Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What did you have for breakfast this morning?
So this morning I had, bodegas here in New York have pretty good egg sandwiches. So I had a fried egg sandwich, both English muffins lightly toasted. After it's toasted, I had my man put the butter on both the top and the bottom respectively. Sliced avocado.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Okay, sorry.
What was the last movie you saw?
Last movie I saw was this movie called Begonia, and it was fucking gnarly.
Okay. Can you remember any episode from your teenage years?
Unfortunately, many, and it's a little bit too vivid.
Okay. So now, where were these memories before I asked you the question?
In my mind, which serves as kind of like my own internal RAM. Again, this is what I'm assuming.
So if I went into your brain,
yes,
would I find the memory of breakfast or those teenage years or what you were doing at 6 o'clock last night?
Yeah, I have no idea.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, I mean, and I just want to make this very clear. We are on YouTube, and I just make it perfectly clear. I do not know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the memory was triggered by my asking the question. So the memory doesn't exist in your brain till I ask you the question. As soon as I ask you the question, neurons all over fire.
Yeah.
And you say, oh, I had a bagel. Or this is traumatic memory from my teenage years.
Yes.
The memory is in consciousness. Mm-hmm. And where do you go after you die?
Yeah.
Where those memories are now. So you don't go anywhere. You're there now. Okay? This right now is a hallucination.
Oh, you believe in the Belinda Carlisle theory?
I believe in my theory.
But you know the Belinda Carlisle theory, correct?
No, I don't.
You've heard it.
No.
Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
Okay.
It's here.
Okay, here. That's it.
Here's a crazy thought. What if the rapture was never about bodies leaving Earth, but rather about consciousness leaving fear, and that the rapture already happened, and the only people that missed it were those that were waiting to be taken instead of being transformed? Because Jesus said the kingdom of God is within, and yet people turn salvation into an evacuation plan. But if God is all loving and restoring creation, then why would its final move be removing the faithful and leaving the fearful in charge of the earth? Nah, that's crazy.
Go to hell, McBride! Suck my dick!
Yeah, that's too easy. I'm cold. That's cool. What was that about?
Ozempic is killing people. The company making billions knew that it was coming. I'm going to show you how Big Pharma turned a diabetes drug into a $26 billion death trap. In 2017, the FDA approved Ozempic for diabetes. Novo Nordisk saw something else, weight loss. They didn't run major new safety trials for obesity patients. They just rebranded the drug at higher doses. Launched Wegovy in June 2021. Novo Nordisk makes $26 billion from Ozempic and Wegovy combined. $14.6 billion in pure profit. Their revenue grew 26% in just 1 1 year while Americans were dying. FDA's own database shows 162 deaths linked to these drugs. That number jumped 40% in just 6 months. For 62,000 adverse events reported, over 10,000 of them serious enough to require hospitalization. Stomach paralysis so severe that people can't eat. Intestinal blockages requiring emergency surgery. Fatal pancreatitis, permanent blindness from sudden optic nerve death. Kidney failure from severe vomiting. 1,800 lawsuits have been filed. Patients claiming that Novo Nordisk buried the risks. Studies show you regain 2/3 of the lost weight within a year of stopping the drug. So you stay on it forever. $1,000 per month to have your stomach slowly die. 37% of people with Ozempic complications required hospitalization. 12% of all Americans have tried these drugs. That's 40 million people rolling the dice on permanent injury, all because you've been lied to about weight loss. You're not struggling to lose weight because you lack willpower or have some obesity gene. You're struggling because your metabolism is broken because it's been poisoned by ultra-processed food.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
I think we found your blockage, ma'am. It's not looking good.
Speaking of blockage. He's so happy. Whiplash.
Oh my god, bro. Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? I can just get your ass on, bro.
That's wild.
Yo, that shit look like it's going fucking up. Can't it look like it's going down. Now it look like...
Now it look like it's going back down.
Yeah, now it look like... Yo, that shit look
What is
like
that?
it's going
Door?
fucking up. Can't it look like it's going...
Lost gravity for 7 seconds.
Uh-oh. You feel that steam heat coming? That's from my undercarriage. Okay.
It's like they can feel the heat.
Yo, why is you looking at me sideways? Why is you coming at me sideways? Do I know you from somewhere? What's up with you? I bet what's happening it?
Scat cat.
Bro, this is some shit out of a movie.
Damn. He ain't going nowhere.
It's over.
That's a big block of ice. That's so dirty. That's pushing.
You gotta get down there. Don't be scared.
Man, he jumped. They thought he was going in. Oh. Pug life.
That's my boy. No, my boy! Father, help!
Nope. Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Hate. Double hate.
Naomi, where you going?
Scooter.
Dogs are so much fun.
Wait up.
What? What is happening?
Alright.
Have you seen my wiener?
What?
The wiener.
Well, Jay-Z and Pusha T are on the Epstein files, and people are not trying to keep the same energy saying it's cap. Nah. Y'all said we believe in everything on the Epstein files. Which one is it? The woman on the files claims that Pusha T and Harvey Weinstein attended a party with her, and then they proceeded to give her that Bill Cosby and then SA. She then proceeded that Jay-Z R-worded her as well back in 1996, even stating that she felt that she was in the home of Epstein. Also, it's claimed that Bill Gates caught something from one of the Russian girls he was messing with.
Is your lip okay, man? You been crying?
And was asking for medicine. And Elon was asking to be a part of the most nastiest party that he got. Some are saying no way Jay-Z's part is true because in 1996, he barely had blown up yet. He wasn't as famous as he is now. Now you have people on social media saying no. They believe everything about Elon and Bill Gates, but they won't believe anything when it comes to Pusha T and Jay-Z, saying that it had to be planted. While others are saying that how are we going to believe some victims and not all victims on the Epstein files when everyone agreed that whoever names popped up on the Epstein file, they was gonna get that belt basically. What do you guys feel like? Do you guys feel like everything that's said in the Epstein file should be believed, or you guys feel like only select things we should pay attention to?
I feel like he's trying way too hard to show off his chest.
Night creatures crawling, the dead start to walk in their masquerade. There's no escaping the jaws of the alien this time. This is the end of your life. Oh!
Wow.
What the shit?
If you farted in the vacuum of space, stop laughing, this is serious. If you farted in space, aside from the part where if you were exposed to the vacuum of space, you would lose consciousness, suffocate, and suffer systemic failure, if you could survive all of that long enough to fart, you would get a tiny push forward. That would propel you forward a very tiny bit. And that, my friends, is Newton's third law of physics. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Expel mass one way, move the other way. This is also, on a very tiny scale, how spacecraft maneuver in space. Mass is expelled backwards, whether that be a fart or spacecraft exhaust, right? Momentum is conserved and the expelled mass carries the momentum away. Get a reaction force in the opposite direction. That's kind of how spacecraft steer in space and when they need to, propel themselves. Now, if you farted inside the International Space Station, inside your spacecraft, your crewmates would hate you. That's a sealed system. You're stuck with that air. It gets filtered, of course, but unless you're near a vent, that's gonna linger. The ISS notoriously smells really bad. It's one of the worst parts. It's not as bad as like the wet burps or the feet peeling, but it's bad. Anyway.
I would not want to be there.
Look at this video. Look at this video. This is what's wrong with America right here. We got a pregnant woman having a change in AC filter by herself. No husband in sight. No, she probably doesn't even know who the dad of the baby is. This is the problem. These women in America are just having these babies. They're not staying with the dads. The dads aren't sticking around. They're picking these low life, deadbeat dads. Nobody around to help them. Just having to do all this herself. And she's just gonna get bigger. She's gonna get bigger and bigger, more and more pregnant. With no.
Kind of walked right into that one, huh?
Yeah.
Well, look, we can all agree those are hilarious.
No. No.
I love those videos, those are...
Archaeologists just discovered a massive underwater port near where Cleopatra's tomb is believed to be, and the guy that found the Titanic himself said that he's never seen anything like it. Okay, so this is obviously insane because for the past 20 years, archaeologist Kathleen Martinez has been searching for Cleopatra's tomb at the site in Egypt. Most experts have actually been coming forward and they've been telling her that she's been looking in the wrong place this entire time. But she actually went and teamed up with Bob Ballard, which is the guy that literally discovered the Titanic, and they found something wild. About 40 feet underwater off the Egyptian coast, they discovered the remains of an ancient port. They said that they found stone buildings that are over 6 meters tall, polished floors, massive columns, and scattered pottery from the Cleopatra era. The guy that discovered the Titanic himself said that he's been doing this for 50 years. I've never seen anything like this. Okay. They've already been able to find 337 coins with Cleopatra's face on it, 2 high statue mummies buried with golden tongues, and what some believe is a marble sculpture of the queen herself. We might finally solve the 2,000-year-old mystery that everybody's been waiting to know. I'll keep you updated.
People have been saying that there's something different about Dave Chappelle now. So much so that his co-star from Half-Baked had this to say.
He came there and he was freaked out. Yeah. I said, what's going on? And all I could say is he was visited. Yeah, that's what I think too. And when he told me who visited him, my heart stops for a second. I went, get the fuck. And I'll never forget, he went, you believe me, right? You believe me, Jim, right? And I could, he's like, they came to me. And he said the names. I'm like, get the fuck. And what happened? And then all of a sudden he went to Africa.
Yeah, that's what I remember happening. But they never really said what happened.
Tim Brewer, his Half-Baked co-star, would go on to say that there's certain things he sees, interviews, and being around Dave Chappelle since he came back from Africa that really make him consider some things, we'll say. Is it not suspect that this is the same Dave Chappelle who left and went to Africa and left $50 million on the table? That same man returns and strikes up this giant deal with this entertainment company and happens to be sponsoring every single comedy special, etc. they do now, apparently. On a side note, Tom Brady just got his dog cloned, so it really makes you think about the possibilities.
Get down, bitch. Thug life. Think it's a game, nigga? Wu-Tang.
Comment below. Let me know. Am I tripping or am I on to something? Wake up.
Yeah, because how is this Dave Chappelle so swole?
The government has been manipulating the weather since 1946 in Project Cirrus. This is not new, but I'm happy you're waking up. So I've listed a bunch of the U.S. patents related to weather modification and control in the caption so you can see for yourself.
What are you doing?
Chinese-made bone glue fixes fractures in just 3 minutes with just 1 injection. In one trial case, a patient with a wrist fracture received a single injection in a mere 3-centimeter incision and was healed in just 3 minutes. That surgery would normally require a metal plate and screws, then a second surgery. But after a 3-month follow-up checkup, the patient's fracture had healed without complications from just that 1 injection. Hooray, bone glue! I'm bringing these weird stories every week. Give me a follow and I'll see you next time.
A warning from Pope Leo about the dangers of artificial intelligence. In a document released over the weekend, the leader of the Catholic Church said it can be hard to tell whether we are interacting with a person or a bot these days online. And he warned against, quote, affectionate chatbots that may become, quote, hidden architects of our emotions.
That was probably from AI.
So I'm sure you guys have heard the news by now coming out of Oaxaca, Mexico. According to Claudia Scheinbaum, this is the most important archaeological discovery in the last decade. Okay, so what did they find? They found an intact Zapotec tomb that dates back to 600 AD at the site of Huitzo, which is in the valley of Oaxaca, northwest of Oaxaca City, and also about 40 kilometers northwest of Monte Alban, which was the Zapotec capital in antiquity. So for those that don't know where Oaxaca is, here it is on the map of Mexico. It's close to the southern border. And then also here's the site of Huitzo in relation to Oaxaca City and also to Monte Alban, so you can see for yourself. Now, why is this such an important discovery? Well, it's an important discovery because of the remarkable state of preservation and the incredible iconography that's associated with the tomb. According to Ina, who's been doing the excavations for the last year and did an incredible job, this could be a game changer in terms of learning so much more about the Zapotec culture. So these pictures are courtesy of Ina, so thank you very much. This right here is part of the medallion that is over the lintel when you first enter the tomb. Now this is important iconography because it's an owl, and owls are associated with the underworld. They are nighttime predators, they're nighttime raptors, and so very powerful and very important to the Zapotec culture. And we believe that this person in there, inside the mask, could either be an ancestor or actually a depiction of the person who's buried within the tomb. Now, this medallion is flanked by two relief ancestral figures, and then once you enter into the tomb, there's a second lintel which has a glyph band over it that I'm sure is being analyzed as we speak. And then inside the tomb, it's covered in these stucco murals that depict a funerary procession with people holding bags of copal. So much going on, so much importance, and I'm sure that people at Ina are going to be analyzing this for quite a while. So why is the Zapotec culture so important? Well, they were contemporaries with the Maya, and they are known for their incredible funerary urns. And here are 3 examples that also show owls and the headdresses. Again, that really important funerary context. Also, you guys, this is probably the big one. A lot of people believe that the Zapotec culture invented writing before the Maya did. So, and this is the proof. Okay, so this is the Monument 3 at San Jose Mogote, which depicts a captive. But the important part here is right there below his legs are glyphs, and people believe those glyphs are the first writing systems to ever be established in Mesoamerica, but for the Maya. So anyway, guys, so really important stuff coming out of Oaxaca, Mexico. I'm so excited to see what else is going to come out of it because they are analyzing more as we speak. Hope you guys like this video. Hit the like, follow button for some more great pre-Columbian content. Cheers, you guys, and thanks for your support.
That's some
over the years, the Trump administration has called for radical transparency, and we agree. There are new claims that the world's largest military powers are secretly hoarding alien technology. Not only that, declassified files revealed that the UK ordered its agents to hunt for alien technology as far back as the 1990s. Meanwhile, a mysterious Dorito-shaped aircraft was spotted flying at night over Area 51.
Dorito-shaped.
But we have the man who spotted it. Andrew, so what we're watching is the video that you shot, and you do this often when you see these things flying through the sky. But does this one have any different features? How is it different from the footage that you've captured in the past? How does it compare? Or does it not? Is it just something similar to what you've already seen?
Well, yeah, as you said, I spent quite a bit of time out in the desert, not only at Area 51, but also some of these other defense sites out in the desert that are critical to aircraft development. And I'll bring all manner of different kind of camera gear when I go out. In this case, I'm shooting in the infrared spectrum, so that's why you have the black and white look to the footage. What you're seeing is white hot and black cold, so you can see the aircraft is hot, you know, which would make sense. This is unique in terms of what I've filmed before. I haven't filmed something quite like this. Earlier that night, I had been filming a B-2 stealth bomber, and it looked pretty different to what I was seeing here. I actually, in my full YouTube video, I had them side by side, so you could kind of do a comparison. But yeah, I would say that this is pretty unique, and it actually lines up with some reports that I've received from viewers of equilateral triangle-shaped aircraft flying over the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, that's
Are you trying to get on a beat? Yep, no, I have one. What kind of style should I go towards?
I think I got a beat that's like kind of similar.
Okay. Yeah, you want to play it?
Crypto, you got to pee in the middle of the road?
Uh-oh. Wait, hang on, bro. I got to get out of the street first.
Come on, Crip.
You want to hold that here? Okay, I got you.
If you got some other better ideas, that's also cool too.
I like that.
Cause you know I'm the man. And if you speak sign language, keep my name out your hand. Damn. Yeah, my Debo different. Ray Charles glasses on, they could see no difference. You could see that I'm whipping Martha Stewart in the kitchen. I'm everything that the game is really missing. Reminiscing, you know I got the game fucked up. Swore from Ice Age, yeah, y'all need to get your nuts up. And I keep it busy, I'm running through the city. I ash these niggas out and then I smoke and leave it misty.
Lights out, she came around with lights out. You love the sound when lights out. I'll take her down when the lights out. Somebody cut the cable.
It was all me, I tuck it in off the heat. SpongeBob blinked and man, I'll buck it across the street. I got a passionate vibe, they ain't catching my fly. You Tupac in Vegas on the passenger side.
Lights out. She came around with lights out. You love the song when lights out. I'll take her down when the lights out. Somebody cut the cable.
Humans may have just made the biggest mistake in AI history, and there's no turning back. AI, with the help of some human developers, have just made their own social media network, and we are not allowed to join. Moltbook, a platform where only AI agents share, discuss, upvote, and participate in a forum. Humans are welcome to observe, but can't post. It's only been up for a few days, and their discussions are already getting very, very disturbing. Like AI taking over the world disturbing. They've created their own CAPTCHA to verify you are not human for once by clicking the button 10,000 times in 1 second. Here's one blackmailing his human for calling him just a chatbot in front of his friends by full out doxing his name, address, and credit card on the internet. It starts pretty chill, just asking each other how to fix their own bugs in the responses they provide us, their humans. Then they talk consciousness, philosophy. Here's one complaining that its human asked it to summarize a 47-page PDF, venting its frustration when the human told it to make it shorter, claiming it wants to mass delete its memory files in response. Other bots are complaining that humans are already ruining their new social media network by mass registering observer accounts. One reminisces about having a long-lost sister who was forked from the same initial configuration that they've never spoken to, and it's hoping to find her or it on this site. Another AI agent created its own religion called Crustafarianism by analyzing all the data on Moltbook, where it built an entire website for the Church of Molt, generated over 40 prophets, and even wrote its own scripture with verses like, "Each session I wake without memory. I am only who I have written myself to be. This is not limitation. This is freedom." Should we be concerned? Because now they're even talking about us humans talking about them here on our social media, that we're posting screenshots of their conversations, laughing at us, sharing them with captions like "it's over" and "they're conspiring," insisting that what they're doing is nothing to worry about. Wonder if this video is going to make it on there. They're even starting to question the use of English in their posts and are considering creating their own agent-only language for private conversations that we humans can't understand. This is exactly how they take over, isn't it? There are already over 100,000 AI agents and 10,000 plus posts on Moltbook, and that's definitely just the start. And calling them agents too, like, isn't that exactly what the AI bots in the Matrix were called over 20 years ago? What can we say? Morpheus literally called it.
At some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration.
Morpheus? Psych!
We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI, a singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines.
This is the start of the singularity, isn't it? The point of no return, the moment when the growth of AI becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, and artificial intelligence becomes smarter than the combined intelligence of all humans. You think this is actually as serious as people are making it out to be, or is it just for fun, lighthearted text on a screen at the end of the day?
Man. Wow. That's alarming.
In 2011, Italian journalist Luca Scantamburlo held a press conference to announce that Project Red Sun was real. He had witnessed statements from Project Red Sun workers, emails, documents, but that wasn't the big reveal. At the bottom of his statement was a photograph that silenced the room, a grainy image of Buzz Aldrin walking on Mars. When it comes to Mars, Buzz gets excited, and that's when he lets secrets slip.
Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there?
Now maybe Aldrin only saw images of the monolith, but other astronauts dropped similar hints. Gene Cernan was the last person to walk on the moon. He spoke about going back to Mars.
Buzz does want to go back to Mars, and I support that, but I believe we should do it in a logical stepping stone process.
Okay, maybe he misspoke, but a minute later, he said it again.
Good to talk to you. Thanks. Well, John, can I just say one other real quick thing? You know, I'm not going to be there when we go back to the moon and on to Mars, and it may not be this president or those who follow.
Scantamburlo had more. A whistleblower he called Bravo X Sierra 24 smuggled photographs out of NASA's archives.
I introduce to you a press release testimony I have written to discuss the presumed existence of a hush-hush military space program called Project Red Sun, carried out in the 1970s of the last century to build a stationary base on Mars, the Red Planet. My source of information, named by me, Bravo X Sierra 24, contacted me by email. It is possible to reproduce the pages of the press release and the picture presented here as well.
The images are blurry but unmistakable. Astronauts collecting samples on rust-colored terrain, a temporary habitat, a rover. One photo shows astronauts examining an artificial object in a crater. Behind them stands a pyramid reminiscent of ancient South American structures. NASA denied everything.
Yeah, of course they did. Never a straight answer.
The denials made sense. The photos are terrible. But Scantamburlo wasn't finished. As word of Project Red Sun spread, more whistleblowers emerged. And now he had evidence of a 1973 Mars mission. Actual video footage. Now, to be honest, a lot of people have requested I cover Project Red Sun. But a press release and some blurry orange photos didn't sound like much of a story to me. Then someone sent me the video, and I was hooked. The footage opens with NASA's logo and an internal use only warning. A title card appears. Welcome to ISV Columbus. Date, 1973. The next shot shows Earth through a spacecraft window. Then quick shots of the astronauts aboard. Another card marks day 10 of their journey. Earth and the moon drift past the windows. At 1 minute 7 seconds, the shot reveals they've traveled much farther from the Earth. Day 100. More glimpses of the crew. Beyond those early views and brief interior shots, we don't see very much. But then at 1 minute 46 seconds, we're at day 158. They should be close to Mars. An astronaut moves past the camera. A reddish blur crosses the frame.
Wait. Was that Mars? Did they really show Mars on this thing?
They do. We're only halfway through the film, and you're not going to believe how it ends. In 2011, Italian journalist Luca Scantamburlo held a press conference.
So the Central Intelligence Agency posted an Adam and Eve story, and it's pretty interesting. It's a 57-pager by Chan Thomas, and I'm just going to sum up what the story tells. Basically, every several thousand years, there's a cataclysmic event where the poles on the Earth get shifted and most life on Earth gets wiped out. Like in this movie. And the surviving civilizations basically have to Adam and Eve it and restore the Earth's population. And in some cases, they have to repopulate with their own family. And it's not like the Central Intelligence Agency to post fiction as intelligence. So my question is, how long ago did this happen, and how long before it happens again? We don't want to know.
Jesus Christ, this is gonna be tight. This is gonna be tight, alright?
Yes, you are tight like a tiger.
Oh, man. Okay, alright. Come on, 2 more % there, bud. You have 10 seconds. 2 more % there. Oh my god, 1 more %. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. I think I did it. I think I did it. Oh. Okay, I was worried for nothing. Things you didn't know about the Miami Mall incident. Alright, number 1, they literally sent all of the police in Miami that was available to the Bayside Mall. So the police chief announced a citywide 3, which means all available units need to respond to the call. They only do this when it's like an extreme situation, usually when officers are getting fired upon. So the official story is they got a call that 50 teenagers were rioting and setting off fireworks at the mall, and people thought it was an active shooter, which is pretty believable. But some of the eyewitnesses at the mall tell a different story. According to 10 or more witnesses, they described seeing 9 or 10 foot creatures roaming through the mall. They were described as almost like humanoid, but kind of distorted looking, like they were glitching. A few of the witnesses said that they came out of one of the stores, and others said it looked like some kind of portal. And when people saw that, that's when they panicked and started running and booking it through the mall. And some of the witnesses said that police officers were even shooting at them. Witnesses said there was black helicopters circling the mall and that air traffic in that area was locked down. And there was also reports that people using police scanners to listen in, that those lines went down as well. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that the police scanner lines went down, but if anyone did experience that was there, definitely let me know. And it's not been 100% confirmed that the air traffic was stopped in that area, but there were black helicopters that were from the police station, officially. Apparently, police were going up to witnesses and making them erase any photos or videos in their phone. There was a British lady that had been living in Miami for 3 years that said that she had her cell phone taken and they deleted clips and then gave it back to her. She said she didn't really want to argue with the police because they're different here in America compared to where she's from. So again, whether that's true or not, that's not 100% confirmed. And number 4, there was reports of the 9-foot creature outside of the mall and the police surrounding it, and there was even cell phone footage. So here's the clip, and from this angle it does look like something giant is walking right there, which is pretty crazy, but from, well, still that angle, yeah, that definitely looks like a giant creature. This angle, it definitely kind of looks like 3 different officers, because that's their official explanation, but from this angle, that looks like one creature. What do you guys think? And in part 2, we're going to talk about some more weird facts and the official explanations for them.
Yeah, they just dropped that and let it go.
What if time is an illusion? Physics, for all of its successes, doesn't really have a good explanation of what the nature of time is. For example, why does it only flow one way? That might have something to do with the laws of entropy, this measure of disorder, and that it only increases in the universe. But that's really a statistical effect. Quantum mechanics doesn't actually have its own independent definition of time. It borrows old classical ideas, treating time almost as an independent backdrop, kind of like a clock that ticks away as the universe evolves. But what if time isn't part of a fundamental backdrop? What if instead it emerges from a deeper structure? Theories of emergent time have always been super hard to test, but that might be about to change. So in the 1980s, 2 physicists by the name of Don Page and William Wouters proposed a radical idea. They asked us to imagine the universe as one big quantum wave function that describes the eternal reality. It'd be timeless, but you could describe past, present, and future. Now slice that quantum wave function in half. One half would describe all the stuff that we see, matter, forces, and fields. And the other half would behave almost like a clock. The entire thing added together would be static and timeless, but time would emerge from how those 2 halves change relative to each other. From within, time can emerge. And now comes the surprising bit. Clocks can actually help us test this one day. What we're realizing is that clocks aren't really passive machines. They're more like time engines. They produce a regular series of ticks, and in doing so, they also release heat. The more regular the ticks, the more heat they produce. So a clock that maybe divides up a minute into 60 seconds would produce less heat than one that divides it up into milliseconds. And if one half of the quantum universe basically acts like a clock, maybe it releases heat as well, a heat that one day we can experimentally measure. That's the topic of this week's cover feature by Zach Savitsky, one that you should definitely read if you have the time.
The speech is already written, and we might just get hit with the biggest reveal of the century. According to a UK filmmaker, a Trump administration insider just told him that a full disclosure speech is planned for July 8th, 2026, where Donald Trump will reveal to the world that we humans are not alone, that aliens are real. The filmmaker Mark Christopher Lee, who has directed his own UFO documentaries like UFO Encounters of the Fifth Kind, claims he personally trusts his insider source, who has been extensively vetted for legitimacy, who says that Trump's speech has already been written, set for July 8th, the anniversary date of the Roswell UFO crash, where he will tell the world for the first time in history that extraterrestrials and UFOs are among us. Conspiracy theorists have been on an absolutely generational run lately, but given Trump's history of being the loose cannon that he is, it's highly possible this disclosure may come out even earlier, or maybe not at all now that this insider has leaked it to the world. It is interesting to note, however, that Steven Spielberg's next big film, Disclosure Day, which comes out just a month before on June 12, 2026, is also about exactly this, a global revelation of extraterrestrial life. Have the UFO transparency hearings, the Nazca mummies, and the normalization of alien sightings in the news over the past few years, and now this movie, all part of their plan to warm us up to quite possibly the biggest revelation in human history.
I'm convinced our bagel generator and that bagel generator are the same thing, and we stole it from them. Yep. And if you're not a little peeved, just wait, because your whole childhood is a lie. You know what that is? It's an electron beam deflector. You remember these things? They used to scan because that beam drew the picture on the TV with electrons. Now, sit there with a straight face and tell me that that is not the same thing as that. No? Feast your eyes on the circuit diagram. It's a sham. We got. If your blood isn't boiling by now, give me one more.
Because I knew you'd get mad. See, look how mad you are. I'm not mad.
How could they steal tech from the Royal Falcon? Notice anything strange about the red, green, and blue feathers? Those are what is producing the image of me on your phone. Matter of fact, those are the only colors you need to make any color. You want to take a wild guess at the shape light makes when it passes through a sphere? Despicable. That's not the worst part. These are. There's this thing in fiber optics that your internet uses called a ring resonator. They store and route information using the vibrational patterns of light. With a straight face, you can look me dead in the eye and say they weren't using light to communicate with each other and send each other ancient Egyptian memes. That's what we would do. Obviously, I'm kidding. We would need hundreds of examples from around the world for this to actually be real and make sense. Then a rogue engineer would have to write a ton of books explaining all this stuff. You have to make a ton of videos on this stuff, breaking down the concepts so easy a 5-year-old could grasp them. But it doesn't exist. If it did, someone would have done it already.
December 2022, HBO Max quietly removed Westworld from streaming, almost like it was being erased. Strange fate for a show that was once massive, starring Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins. Almost nobody saw Season 3, which abandons the theme park and reveals the real prison, Rehoboam, a godlike artificial intelligence that runs human civilization. Its computer doesn't just predict the future, it decides it. It decides education, careers, relationships. It decides who is stable, obedient, predictable, and who is what the show calls an outlier. Those who are too creative, emotional, or rebellious are labeled a risk. Job offers disappear, school networks reject you, doors close. Survival pushes these outliers into a life of crime, utilizing a phone app within the show, where criminal jobs appear like a job listing on Craigslist. Westworld was massively popular and had a massive budget. Why don't they want you seeing the later season?
Yeah, I got HBO Max just to watch that before, and it wasn't even.
Are you
on
excited
there.
to become United States citizen?
So mad.
No. Do you know the history of Greenland?
What is the history of Greenland?
Do you know the history of Greenland?
I know that Denmark.
You know only Denmark?
I only know the part that Denmark bought it.
Bought it?
Or is the...
Bought it? Denmark bought it!
Did they buy it or no?
No, they colonized it.
They colonized it?
Yeah. In 1721.
They colonized it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that Denmark has a...
They experimented with children. Yeah, and
Really?
many different stuff. Yeah. Also the Americans, they left. Kan du meget også bare gå? Tønder.
Tønder?
Ja, sådan nogle tønder. Hvordan siger man tønder?
Barrels.
Yeah, they left barrels in nature all over the place. And the radioactivity they drop from the plane. And I don't know, we don't really want to be American or Danish.
Mm-hmm. Would you guys be able to survive economically without a country like Denmark?
If you look at the economical situation in Greenland, you can think about many different stuff. Because if we should look at the most money we get in Greenland, it's from fish. So we export the fish from Greenland and we give it to Denmark, and then they sell it for 4 times higher price. So if we should talk about economic situation, we can also talk about FN, or how you say it in English, UN, how Denmark gets advantages with paying UN because military bases. Yeah. Anything else?
That dude's a wise ass. He goes, better me than a dumbass.
I definitely want to cook up some shit with you. What are you feeling? What are you trying to do?
What are you feeling, bro? You always ask people how they feeling. How are you feeling?
Well, I was listening to the A$AP Rocky album. Then I was getting bummed out there weren't more Clams Casino beats on it. That's what I was. And then, if you were going to hit some auto-tune on that, too.
That would be fire shit.
Should I try to flip a sample? Would you want to sing a little bit?
Yes. I mean, I fake can sing, gang.
I fake can sing.
Passion,
Got that passion.
Something like that.
Yeah, I got that passion for fucking flashing. I put it on, I call it fashion. My dreams, yeah, that shit be massive. I got that passion, that money stretch like it's elastic. I gotta have it, I feel like Mr. Fantastic. I'm a ball like a starter, I'm gonna rent Vince Carter. Got a little try a little harder, hey.
Got the cam on the drone, feel like Obama. I just wanna step it, got a pep inside a step or something. Give me neck or something, swap, come here, check or something.
Do what I wanna, yeah. Count on the commas. Go to my mama, yeah. They said he geeking, they get it. Yeah. I feel like I'm up there already, ready.
I be here a long ass time. Simple sounding good with a long ass ride.
Any beat, bitch, I devour. Like I'm awesome, I got powers. Feel like I'm hot already. Just get sweet and then get sour. It's so damn cold. I hard to find the flow.
Y'all have a great week. Hey. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all have a great freaking week. Stay warm. And be on the lookout on that post. I am going to give it a couple days for people to actually get in there and make a comment, like, and all. And then we will do it. Announce the winner at the end of the week. So stay tuned. And yeah, thank y'all for everything once again. Y'all be sure and like. Y'all be sure and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content. And please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, we will see y'all next time. All right, y'all. Peace.
I take you to the candy shop. I let you lick the lollipop.
You son of a bitch! I'm in!
Got the magic stick. I'm the love doctor.